word. Make sure it's recording. Yep. All right. Again, hello, I'm Heather Thompson, Director of Education Abroad. Thank you all so much for coming today to this session for business minors. I'm excited to have so many of you on the call listening in today, and we will be sharing out the information from this presentation, the slides, as well as the recording to the listserv that Cole Holmes manages. And again, thank you to Cole and the Business Options Program for co-partnering with us on this event to get some very important information out to students so you can plan for this year and next for your business requirements or certificate requirements. So we're going to go through quite a bit of information today, so I'm going to be moving fairly quickly. I'll do my best to monitor the chat, but I will pause from time to time to check it out and answer any questions. Okay. All right, with that, let's get started. Let me make sure I can get my screens to move along. All right, so I always like to start out by reminding students of just the premise for why international education is important. Close my doors. Why international education is important. Sorry, my daughter is going to get the dogs. Never fails. We have so many students that study abroad every year, and I'm going to show you some statistics in just a second. But we do surveys from time to time for students. And one of the things that they always say as a post-college graduate into their early professional years is that many of them cite their international activity as being the most impactful thing they did during their college degree. So when you're having that moment of thinking, should I do this or should I not do this? The answer is you should do it, right? We'll help you over what you think the challenges are, whether it's getting your parents convinced or financial or just personal motivation. We'll help you through those. That's what me and my team are here to do. But do know that that students report after graduation that it was the most impactful thing. And similarly, I don't have a slide about it today, but many of the corporations that partner with UT that hire UT graduates also say is one of the top 3 things they look for in a UT graduate is whether or not they've had an international experience. So it is a really big piece of the employer element these days as well, and has been for years. Here's a few numbers for you so you know you're not going it alone. So we do send over 4,000 students abroad every year. Now, COVID has been a little weird, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but during a normal year, that's how many students we send abroad. That's almost as many students are in the entire School of Business. So it's thousands and thousands of students that are going abroad every year. So you may be the first in your family to go, or the first from your town, or the first in your major, but you're by no means the first student. I personally have been at UT for over 25 years. UT study abroad programs have been in existence, some of them since the 50s, but most of them since the late 80s. So this isn't like we started yesterday. So if you have questions or need resources, we're going to have it for you. All right. I do want to talk just a minute about the pandemic. So a lot of people think that everything internationally just came to just a crashing halt. And that is the case for some universities, but is not the case for UT Austin. While we did stop travel last summer and the May semester programs and summer programs last year, UT immediately resumed travel during fall and this current spring, and we will have students going abroad this May and this summer. Now, who goes where is always interesting because we have to monitor foreign governments constantly. But I want you to know that we approach our engagement with the world from a really specific lens of safety, responsibility, and ethical engagement. And I am not going to help you go somewhere where I don't think it is ethically appropriate for you to be going right this minute. But there are places in the world who have managed COVID very well, and it is safe for you to go. And the schools are operating in person, and different activities can be fruitful for your time overseas. One of the reasons, however, that we wanted to do this session isn't just about studying abroad today or this summer or this coming fall, but talking to you all about there will be life after the pandemic, just after there will be life after college, right? And we want to make sure that you have information now in your readiness so you can plan for your future. So yes, we're helping students in the immediate, but this presentation today is going to focus a lot about the future. What can you do on the second quarter or third quarter or fourth quarter of 2021 and into 2022, okay? We have put up on our website a very specific COVID page. If you need to show it to your parents, or if you have any further questions about it, you can email our main address to get further information on how we're supporting students during the pandemic. All right, so I want to jump into the meat of the presentation today, which is talking about how do you find a program and what kind of programs are out there for students who are looking for their business options credits. I am going to talk a little bit about internships if we have time at the end of the presentation, but I'm going to be focusing mainly on course credits and how a business minor or a student doing a business certificate or any of the different options in the different colleges around campus could succeed in doing so. And I'm going to focus on these examples today to give you some real concrete details. So I've put on the screen in front of you, how many programs is it? 7 different programs. And I'm going to talk you through them and explain what the different types are, explain what the acronyms mean, all of that. But as you can see, I went and matched up what are the courses that you need for the business options credits, and what do students get credit for when they go abroad. So things like the accounting 310F class, all right? That class that's taught at Melbourne is called Accounting Reports and Analysis. And a professor in the business school took that syllabus, right? Not me, but a professor at UT took the syllabus from Melbourne, looked at it and said, yeah, that meets our requirements for the UT accounting class. And then it goes into our database, and then students who take that class in the future will get that same credit. All right, so on and so forth, same thing. We have a professor in economics. You know, a lot of, so sorry, y'all, my allergies are killing me today. We have a lot of students that go abroad for economics. You know, the economics degree at UT, there's 2,400 students in the economics major alone. So we've done a lot of course mapping for economics. And you can see that you can take economics 304, microeconomics at one of our partner universities in Morocco. Same thing, we got the syllabus from Morocco, we sent it over to the professor in economics, and they assessed it to be the economics 304 class. All right. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to come back to some of this terminology in just a minute. This is by no means, I do want to say up front, this is a sample. That's why the slide says sample. I cannot show you the entire database right now. If I have time at the end, I will. But the entire listing of the courses that are currently matched does live on our website. But this is, again, just a sampling to show you that you can do it in Europe, you can do it in Asia, you can do it in Latin America, all over the world. You can get the credits that you need for the business option minors and certificates. I keep using the word certificate because not all the certificates have been retired yet. So excuse me if that doesn't completely match with y'all. All right, so let's talk about Australia. I was just there, literally, it was the last place I traveled to before the pandemic. So I feel like it was just yesterday, even though it was a whole summer ago now. But we have 3 really good partnerships that I've listed on the screen. We have more than that in Australia, of course, but these 3 on the screen, Melbourne, the University of Technology, Sydney, and the University of Sydney, all very large Research One universities in Australia, all have massive economics, finance, accounting, marketing, and management programs that are very well ranked worldwide in the worldwide rankings. And you can, for the most part, get any of the classes that you would need for your degree at those universities. Some of them we might already have matched now, or maybe they're offering a new class that we would need to get the syllabus for and get matched that could be applied to a business options credit. But when you think about a really good place to study, this is one example. I'm going to tell you, for those of you who are planning for the near future, the Australian government has said that the borders are closed until July. So no one's going to be going to Australia right this minute, nor have they been for the last 2 semesters. But we are fully expecting that Australia will open back up for 2022, and we are expecting that all of y'all are going to go there because it's going to be a pent-up demand of students wanting to go to Australia. We have plenty of spots at the universities that are listed on the screen. We don't want students to worry about quotas or admissions numbers, right? You got into UT, that battle's over, okay? Now, the way we do it is more like date matching. We're matching you with a program that meets your needs, right? You're not competing for a spot. Now, students in Maccombs that are degree majors, You hear from your colleagues or your student peers that are in McCombs, oh, I had to compete to get to go on that study abroad program. Yes, the programs that McCombs runs for McCombs students are competitive, but y'all need to set that aside, okay? That's McCombs. Y'all are going on programs that are open to everyone. And so you can go to the University of Melbourne or the University of Technology Sydney, and you're not going to be competing for a spot. We have plenty of spots, okay? It's about matching you to it, like I said, to make sure it's in your cost range, you can get the credits you want, you can live where you want. It's that kind of approach, all right? All right, let me show you a second example. Morocco, I just love this picture. I have personally never been to Morocco, but several of my team have, and a couple of them have actually lived there. Morocco is a place that people just completely forget about all the time. You know, it's right across the Med from Spain and France. It's very accessible if you want to travel around Europe. It is in some ways, of course, it's African and Middle Eastern all at the same time, but also quite European because of its proximity. It's very cost efficient. It's very safe. And our partner in Morocco is this particular university, Al Qawain, and we have an exchange program with them during the year and then and during the summer. So you could go there during the summer and take some of these classes. And again, I'll explain the program types in just a minute. But when you think about the two places, Australia, very common, you would think of that all the time. You think, oh yeah, for sure, I can go to Australia and study business. You know, they're a world player, but people forget about places like Morocco that are more non-traditional for UT students. But we've had this partnership for this one at least for 20 plus years. Students are down there every semester. They come back, they love it. We even have some UT professors who teach there permanently now. So you never know when you're going to run into one of them. All right, so think about too, perhaps going someplace non-traditional versus going to a traditional location, even when you're thinking about your business options. All right, I want to show you then, let's go back to a chart that I showed a minute ago. You can see on the second to last column, I've listed the type, whether it's an affiliate program or an exchange program, all right? The third type of program is faculty-led, but I'll get into those in a minute. But I need you all to understand the differences between affiliates and exchange as you're doing your research for where you might do a business class overseas. So from this chart, you can see a few different things that I'm going to explain further. So let's just do a basic primer. Exchanges. That's where I am literally exchanging you with another university. So let's use the University of Melbourne. A Melbourne kid comes to Austin and you go to Melbourne. Now, I don't have to swap you in the exact semester. No, you don't have to find the person you're swapping with. I take care of all of that. But we are exchanging one for one over many, many years. It's just like going to UT. You're going to be in class with the Melbourne students. You're going to be on campus. You're not going to be with a specialized group of foreigners or that many other Americans. Actually, there will be other Americans there, but you're going to be at the University of Melbourne in the exact same way that they're at the University of Texas every semester, okay? We have about 130 exchange programs at any given time all over the world. We do not have all of them course mapped yet. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to go to Copenhagen, surely Copenhagen has marketing, but my database isn't showing you anything. Don't assume the negative, assume the possibility, okay? Just because I haven't mapped it yet doesn't mean that the University of Copenhagen doesn't teach marketing and there isn't a marketing class that would meet the business options credit requirements, all right? It's just a matter of doing some paperwork to figure it out. Exchanges, the cost is very low. You pay tuition at UT, you pay everything else, what I call a la carte in country. You're going to buy your plane ticket when it's time to buy your plane ticket. You're going to pay for your housing when it's time to pay for your housing. You're going to buy your bus pass when it's time to pay for your bus pass, okay? Now, do we help you find housing? Does the partner help you with housing? Yes, but you're not going to be paying me or a service provider to contract your housing for you. All right, that's the basic premise of an exchange, all right? Most students, while they're on an exchange, takes a mix of things. Maybe you take Italian and a marketing class. Maybe you take marketing, history, government, and fine arts if you're abroad for a full semester. Maybe if you go in the summer, you take a marketing and an accounting, okay? It just depends on how long you're there for. but you're going to take generally 6 to 18 credits while you're abroad, depending on how long you go. All right, next, affiliates. Affiliates, think of an affiliate as an extension of the university. This is an organization, most of them are nonprofits, that have a contractual relationship with UT to support our students abroad. All right, and I'm going to give you an example of one of those in just a minute, but we can go back to that screen. This one on the top, oh, went too far. CIEE, they're an organization off of the East Coast of the United States who has centers all around the world. They've been in existence for over 60 years, and they support UT students at their centers year in and year out, every year. Okay, they're an affiliate. What's the difference? You are going to be in either courses with other American students or other international students at a center, and or you're going to be taking courses at the center and maybe some courses at the associated university, right? Kind of like an exchange, but not, no one comes this direction, right? I'm not exchanging you with another student. It's a one-way activity. The other difference, you're going to pay a comprehensive fee to that affiliate. That's going to include your housing, some of your transportation, some of your meals. It's a more crafted experience. Some of them have built-in excursions. Some of them have, they all have options for different housing, apartments, homestays, dorms. It just depends on the location. One of the other differences is the credit. The credit does come in as transfer credit instead of in residence credit. Generally, for those of you who want these courses to fulfill your business options credits, that's not a problem, unless you have a massive amount of transfer credit. If you transferred in as a late semester junior or a senior, then we would need to do extra advising with you before you picked an affiliated program. But if you're coming to UT as a freshman or sophomore, you shouldn't have any trouble or need to worry about the fact that it comes back as transfer credit. Because regardless if it's transfer credit or in residence credit, it is still going to equal that UT course that I've listed in the first column on this chart. Okay, you're still going to get the course credit in the same way you would have always. All right, those are the basic definitions of those two types of programs. All right, let me stop there and check the chat. Let me go back over. I can see the chat. The chat always hides from me. Where'd it go? Come back. Chat. Okay, maybe nothing in the chat yet. Cole, can you see anything in the chat? No? I don't see anything. Ah. Let me check it real quick. Okay, no. All right, nothing in the chat yet. All right, great. We'll keep going. All right, let's go back.
I can see it, Heather.
Okay, nothing in the chat yet. Okay, great.
There's a couple. There's a couple.
A couple. Okay, super.
It looks like it's already been answered.
Looks like it got answered. Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so let's keep going then. The next piece I want to talk about, again, this has to do with finding courses. Let me click on the right screen. So course approvals. So let's go back to an example. So we have a partnership with the school in Sussex, okay? This is a couple hours outside of London, a beautiful location in England that we've been partnering with for years. You can go to Sussex for a semester, you can go to Sussex for the summer. In the summer, Sussex runs an international summer school that is made up of students from all over the world, and they almost always teach marketing, management, and some form of international business every year. But because the summer schools courses change every summer, and I don't know about them in advance, I can't put them in my database, that I'm going to explain in just a second. But if you were interested in going to Sussex, you might want to Google it and then see what programs are offering, and then you would work with us to get a course pre-approved after that. So on this slide, you can see I've put a link to our process for getting credit, right? There's a particular process that you'll go through where you find a syllabus at a host university, and then you submit it through a particular website and through a form to our credit team, and then they help work with, or they take the syllabus and they work with the academic unit on campus to get it approved for an equivalency, that accounting class or that marketing class. So like I said, we have a lot of classes already in the database, but not all of them. I put the second link on here to the database, and I'm going to pop out of my presentation really quickly, and I'm going to show you this from the lens of doing a Google search from the University of Sussex. All right, so everybody hang on with me while I switch screens. Let me get over to the right screen. All right, so let's just go to Google. All right, let me share screen again. We're going to hope that it follows me. The problem with Google is that, or Zoom, is that it doesn't always follow your share screen. All right, so I'm in Google. Here it comes. All right, I'm going to just type in, oh, okay, I think I might want to go to Sussex's International Summer School. Sussex International Summer School. Heather says that might be a cool place to go. And I'm going to go to the summer school. Okay, so you can see here that the summer school listing is here. It talks about it. And then as you work through, let's hope it gave me the right link. Did I click on the right one? Hang on. Study abroad destinations, summer schools. Hang on, let's see if it's going to do it right. Find out about summer schools. Where did it go? Don't tell me they changed their website in 24 hours. Hang on, y'all, real quick. Grab mine. If I can grab it. See, when you test it, it always changes on you. So where did the summer school go? No, let's try the first link. All right. Sussex. Programs. Oh, they moved it, y'all. All right, hang on just a second. My apologies. The link is not being my friend. Have to see what I did wrong on my Google search from last night till today. All right, here it comes. All right, when you get to the undergraduate summer school, you scroll down. 1, it shows you the dates, and then 2, it shows you the subjects. All right, you're thinking, okay, maybe I want to do business management or economics. And you open this link, and I hope hope it's following. If it's not, somebody tell me. But you can see, all right, they're going to be teaching this coming summer, managing supply chain and principles of business management and developing negotiation skills. All right, because they just announced these classes, I have not had time to do the assessment. So one of you who may want to go on this program would download the syllabus, and then using our website, our credit instructions, would submit the syllabus for assessment. And then we'd be able to tell you whether or not this principles of business management would meet one of the business options classes. All right. I'm sharing this with you, this kind of example with you, because the database, the MyBroad database, the MyCredit Abroad database is not a be-all, end-all database. I'm going to pull it up in just a minute. It is a starting point. It is a historical representation of what students have done in the past. It doesn't represent the entire world. I do not have a staff big enough to do course equivalencies for the entire course inventory at the University of Melbourne, let alone the entire world. So it's a historical, like I said, representation. It's a good way to start doing your research, but it's not necessarily the be-all, end-all to doing your research. So let me show you from our website. I'm going to flip back over now and show you our website and how you would do that course research. Get back to the right screen. All right, so I'm on the Education Abroad website, and the easiest way to do it is to click on Find a Program and then go into by major. Scroll to the very bottom and you're going to see the access to the course equivalency database. All right, I'm going to click it. And it's going to take you to this super cool search engine. So I'm going to search for, let's do Australia, and then let's do Let me go back to my example and see. Australia was accounting. All right, and I'm going to click search. If when you do this search, if it ever tells you, I'm going to go back one. If it ever tells you, please refine your search, it's too many, then don't worry about refining your search. A download button will pop up right here on the bottom right, and you can just do the download, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and do it live to the search. You can see all the different places that teach accounting. There's the Melbourne example. And then it's going to show you a listing. And there's the class that I put in my sample slide earlier. Okay, so you can see this class is currently approved for the Accounting 310F credit at the University of Melbourne. All right, so you'll play around with this course. You can download if you want or do a new search. You'll play around with this. Maybe you're trying to figure out a way to go to Australia and also take an anthropology class at the same time. And you want to know if anthropology teaches, or Australia teaches the anthropology class that you need to take while you're also taking your business class to keep your degree progress moving forward. So use this database, but again, remember that it is a historical representation and not a be-all end-all list, okay? So if you're thinking about, all right, I can't find what I want on Texas Global's website, I'm just not finding it, then step back for a minute and just use Google. Just use Google. Say, I want to take Intro to Marketing in Latin America as a study abroad program. And Google is actually one of your best friends. And then if you find a school or you find a study abroad program that offers the class or the location that you want, then go back to our website and cross-reference it to see if we offer that program by using our program search. Okay? All right, I want to go back into the presentation for just a minute and show you all a few more things. So let me move my screens back again, just a minute. Hold on. Gotta love some screen share. Okay. All right. So, and again, back to this example of Sussex. Like I said, we have quite a bit of the programs, courses at Sussex already equated to the business option credits, but not all of them, as I explained in the summer program example. All right. Next, then, there are UT faculty-led programs that teach some of the credits that are needed for business options. So I'm going to talk about a few of those, but again, this is just a sampling of programs that I'm going to go over. To give you context quickly, a faculty-led program is taught by a UT professor. Maymester is generally 3 to 4 weeks, some are 6 to 12. Y'all can read this on the screens in front of you. This year, we will be making decisions about whether or not faculty-led programs are going to country by mid-March. But we still are accepting applications for them. So you can look at those if you're interested. And we do encourage students to attend one of the events on our events calendar if you're looking for a particular program in a particular location. One of the programs that we designed specifically for business options students is a program in Barcelona. Specifically, it teaches IB 320F. All right, so the UT syllabus for IB 320F is taught in Barcelona every summer over 6 weeks. In addition to that, you'll take another course for 6 classes total. Language is not required. The class is taught in English. Homestays throughout Barcelona. There are optional excursions. This particular program, a UT professor does not go on. So it's in the realm of what we call a customized program. It normally is about 20 to 25 UT students. It's a pretty small group. There are, of course, hundreds of other Americans in Barcelona every summer because of its location and its weather. So you won't by any means be the only American in Barcelona. But this particular program does have an enrollment cap. So you won't be with like 200 other UT kids on this particular program. It's a smaller program. All right, that's one example. The second example I want to show you are some of the programs that are run by McCombs. So a lot of people think, oh, if you're not in McCombs as a major, you can't go on their study abroad programs. That's not true. They have a few programs every year that are open to everybody campus-wide. Now, spaces are limited, so it's not like, you know, everybody and their dog will get to go. These are 3 that are happening this summer. that are open to non-McCombs students, so non-business majors, and they teach some of the classes that you might need for your business options. When you get this PowerPoint after the session, all the links are all the underlines are hyperlinked, and you can go look at the particular programs, okay? If you're interested ever, whether it's this year or in the future, on going on one of the McCombs summer programs, you would need to go to the McCombs' website and follow their instructions for advising. I've put the link there for you for that. And they hold information sessions weekly, all right? And have an email, a dedicated email address that you can connect with them on. All right, so that is the case too for all of our programs. I meant to say this earlier. Even if, say you're in liberal arts and you're trying to get into Moody, because maybe you want to be in public relations, which is business E, but not in McCombs, but you still want to do the business options program. All of our programs, for the most part, don't really care what college you're in, right? So if you want to take a public relations class overseas and take accounting for your business options, you can do that. We would just have to make sure you have the appropriate background knowledge in public relations, or that you're taking an intro to public relations course abroad. So when you go internationally, a lot of the constraints at UT are lifted. So think of it that way too. Or if you're trying to explore, I need to mute somebody. Or if you're trying to explore, see who else I need to mute. If you're trying to explore options for a future degree and you're not yet in the degree, maybe you're undeclared. I'm not sure what all the profile is or everyone on this call today. Think about that. Remember that those constraints are not always the same. Okay. All right. All right. I want to shift from that, but I'm going to stop for just a minute. Look at the time and stop and take some questions. I know Lucia Zakharova is on with me today. She's one of our assistant directors for advising. So thank you for Lucia for joining today. And Erin Achterhoff is one of our program coordinators as well. She's on today as well and helping answer questions. So
Heather?
Yes.
Taylor Malcolm is also here today.
Oh, great. Hi, Taylor.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I decided to sneak in.
Great. Hi, Taylor. Good to see you. All right. Lucia, is there anything in the chat that I should back up and address? Are we doing okay?
Yeah, there was a question about Copenhagen Business School, and I see it as a BBA program, MBA program.
Yes.
So I don't know if that would be accessible or not.
No, you can only get to the Copenhagen Business School if you're in McCombs as an admitted major. But again, the University of Copenhagen, which also has business and management and all of those standard fields, would have classes as well. I can show y'all, let me show you something on the website is also, let me pop over to the web for just a minute. Let me pull it back up. When you're on our, let me share screen. When you're, nope, wrong one. When you're on our website, to get into the program search, just click on program search. And let's do Denmark, just because we were talking about Copenhagen. See this list of programs, everybody? Look, pay attention to the open to column, all right? The ones that say open to E&G mean those are only open to engineering. The ones that say BBA and MBA, you have to be a major in BBA. But all of these ones that say all, then it doesn't matter what college you're in, you could go on it, okay? All right, so University of Copenhagen versus Copenhagen, you can see the difference here, right? When you open these, it will show you, I'm gonna open this, but it's not gonna follow, so give me just a second. I have to reshare. When you click on one of those, it's going to show you a program detail page. You can see the different disciplines that are taught. You can read all the information. You can visit the different websites. It'll tell you how to apply. And then over here on the left, it's going to give you information about the courses, okay? And it's going to give you a link to the course inventory that I was showing you just a minute ago. This one, it's going to open a pop-up window, so it's going to be kind of weird, but there is kind of this circular path where you can click through the program detail record to get to the courses that have been pre-approved. Again, the historical list of courses, right? But if you found a course at the University of Copenhagen that you wanted us to assess, then we would work with you to do so.
There's
All right.
also a question about who could students go to get help with figuring out how the credits fit the degree plan.
Sure. You're actually going to go to your academic advisor for that. So the academic advisors at UT are very, very knowledgeable, especially, well, actually, they're all very knowledgeable. But if you go to them and say, all right, I'm going to take this accounting course and I want to take a fine arts class while I'm in Italy, how will those two courses count to my degree? That's a conversation with your academic advisor. Now, if you say, I have these two syllabus and I need to know what that's going to represent in UT, what we call an equivalent, right? Meaning that accounting class or that marketing class, then our credit team, and that was on that slide just a minute ago, can help you do the paperwork to figure out what the equivalent would be so that you could go back to your academic advisor and say, okay, we've done the paperwork and that accounting class in Sydney is going to count for accounting 301. And then your academic advisor could tell you what accounting, that's a fake number, y'all, but what accounting 301 would count for, or accounting 367K or whatever it is. Okay. All right. So yes, do talk, and it is in one of the steps on our Get Started page, is that you should always start with planning for your international experience with your academic advisor. Let them know, hey, I'm thinking about studying abroad next year, and I think I'm going to take this. And then lean on them and use them as a resource for helping you plan. They're a partner in this, just as you're going to eventually have someone on my team that will be helping you. Your academic advisor is an integral piece to the puzzle, and they need to know what you're planning as well. Okay. All right. I'm mindful of time, so I'm going to go back to the presentation because I want to get to a couple more things. One, internships. Some of you will say, you know what? I don't think that I want to do a course-based program, that I want to do, I hope y'all can see my screen. I'm going to do an internship instead. Okay. And for us, internships mean a lot of things. So I'm going to go over this really quickly, but do know that if you want to go on an internship, we hold information sessions every week about them, and you can go to one of those as your next step. But we have internships where you're working full-time. We have internships where you're working part-time. We have internships where you're taking one class, or internships where you're taking 3 classes. Very, very, very different models in all locations around the world to meet your needs. Again, matching you to whatever is best for you. Now, the one thing to know about these internships is that the majority of them are not paid. It's not like in the United States where you're going to get paid for an internship. And this generally has to do with foreign labor laws and how you pay short-term or temporary workers in a foreign country. And coming over as an American, you quite often fall into a temporary worker category, which means you can't get a visa and they can't pay you. However, we recognize that that is a difficulty for UT students. So we have quite a bit of scholarship money that we give to students who are interning in order to counteract the fact that you're not getting paid. All right, so don't just think, okay, just because I can't get paid, I won't have the money to go abroad. You can apply for the scholarships and see if that's going to make it financially feasible for you. Okay. All right, next I want to talk a little bit about advising. I'm going to put up a few things on our website, and then I'm going to pop over to our virtual advising page. So just like everybody, we're all working from home. No one's on campus in my team right now. And we're going to be in this virtual advising world at least probably until next fall. So this means we're really relying on you all to take the first step and take the initiative to do the research. And we're going to guide you through the research, but you have to do it, right? I can't have you sit at my desk and walk you through a 30-minute advising session on Zoom all day long. There's not enough time in the day, and I don't have peer advisors this semester. So the very first step is watch a video. We did a bunch of pre-recorded videos earlier this year that you can watch whenever you want, 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on different themes. There's a 101 video that we encourage you to watch first. Then watch one of our thematic videos. And then after you've done that, when you've done some research on our website, when you've done some Google searches, and you've got questions, then you're going to come to one of our Q&A sessions every week. The Q&A sessions are led by full-time staff, program coordinators that have different responsibilities who will be able to answer your questions. We are not doing one-on-one appointments right now. You must go to a live Q&A to speak with a full-time staff member, but you can go as many times as you want. And right now, they're small group. It's like small group advising. Maybe there's 2 kids there, maybe there's 5, maybe there's 1. You get there first, maybe it's just you. I've done some of those. So don't be afraid of these live Q&As. Some of them might have a little short presentation at the beginning just to give everybody some basic concepts. That's how I do the financial aid one. But then after it, it's just a discussion. All right, and we're all learning from each other. And then students that have a private question might want to hang on till the end, and then they'll answer a private question if need be. All right, so do attend those. And then of course, oh, I apologize for the typo on number 5. Use our credit search engine and use our program search to help you find a program. I'm going to pop over now back to our website to show you the virtual advising page so you know where to find it. So let me turn off this pop-up box. Back to share screen. All right, so we're back to our home page. This is actually, by the way, is a group of business school students, I do believe. When you go over here to apply and go, the very first thing on the list is virtual advising. Click on it. It's going to take you to our advising page. Here's the step 1, watch the basic video. Step 2, attend a thematic event or session. It'll take you to our events page. There are tons of events. Right, events and info sessions, same thing. It's just an interchangeable word. If you want to learn more about faculty-led, you can do that. If you want more information about exchanges and affiliates, you'll go here and you can see they run Q&As every week, all week. Internships right here if you want more information. And then we have put up a series of pre-made on-demand videos about regions. So if you're trying to decide what is the difference between studying in Latin America versus studying in Asia, you can watch these on-demand videos. And then if you need specific advising, if you're a Macomb student or if you're an engineering student, then there are references to those. All right, so use this information, all right, to guide your steps and really follow the process so that we can help you as effectively as possible. All right. Okay, with that said, I'm trying to make sure that I leave enough time for questions. Lastly, I'll share this last screen so those of you who want to connect with us can connect with us. We do post a lot of things on social media. We post scholarship announcements, we post deadline reminders, we post fun stories. You can link to our blog. We've had a group of students, we always have what we call global ambassadors that live all over the world, students just like you, who are doing blogs and video logs on their experiences. And the ones from this last semester have been fascinating because they tell you and show you real time, what is it like to be in London during the pandemic? Or what's it like to be in Turkey? And you can follow their different stories. We'll have a new group of ambassadors blogging for us this spring. And so you can sign up on our website if you want to join and get the blogs in your inbox, but you can also get that from our homepage or from staying connected with us. All right. Lots of cool photos. If you're on Insta, you can look at pictures all day long, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling if you need some inspiration. All right, with that, I had a couple reminders to myself. Let me check really quickly. I'm going to be sending you a pros program survey. If those of you that are on the call right now, I'll put it in the chat. If you wouldn't mind filling out this post info session survey for us, we'd appreciate your feedback. But otherwise, I will, like I said, be sending out the recording and the PowerPoint for those of you who have questions. We've got about 8 minutes left or so, so I'll just open up the floor and see what questions are out there. But thank you all so much for those of you that came today.
Hi, I had a question.
Yes, hi, Anna.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so I was trying to apply for one of the programs, but it was telling me that I had to attend an info session before that, and I didn't know what info session I was supposed to go to.
Can you tell me what program said that?
I think it was the University of Sussex. I don't know how to say it properly.
Okay, so we'll check that record, but really at this point, since you've been to this session, you're good. You can count this as having gone to a basic info session, okay? So at this point, just start doing your research and then attend one of those live Q&A sessions, okay?
Okay, and after that, I should be able to apply, or do
After
I
that,
apply
you should be
before?
able to, yeah, after that, you should be able to apply.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks, Anna. Other questions?
I have a question. I was just wondering for spring semester of 2022, so not this year, but next year, are the deadlines for programs different based on like whatever program you go with, or are all application deadlines the same across the
No,
board?
they're pretty much the same. So the deadlines for spring programs were for spring long semester, the full semester abroad, your deadline will be March 1. Sorry, not March 1. I'm crazy. October 1. My apologies. I'm like, what semester am I in? October 1.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, and so you would be working now to figure out which program you want to go to and get advising, do your research this semester, connect with us now. Don't wait until September, okay, or you'll feel a little rushed. Our office does work all summer, and that's a great time too to connect with us to get more in-depth advising if you need support, is to connect with us over the summer too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions? All right, well, I'm going to pause